It was a stifling morning in the Wesleyan Chapel in New York, as hundreds of people gathered inside to discuss Elizabeth Cady Stanton's Declaration of Sentiments, a document listing the social, civil, and religious rights of women. On July 19, 1848, the Seneca Falls Convention was held. It would end in the realization that the women's vote was widely disputed, but necessary if gender equality was to be achieved. From Seneca Falls on, feminism was introduced and began to integrate itself into society. The passing of the 19th Amendment in 1920 granted women the right to vote and was the culmination of the first wave of feminism, resulting in significant changes in women's roles at home and in the workplace. The process behind the 19th Amendment was a long and frustrating battle, but worth everything. The amendment was introduced in Congress in 1878, but it struggled to gain a backbone, so organizations like NAWSA and NWP used tactics like picketing, silent vigils, and hunger strikes. They lobbied and petitioned, but included events such as parades and pageants. Woodrow Wilson, the president, began to support it in 1918. It then went to be voted on. This was difficult because it failed to pass several times, but finally on May 21, 1919, the amendment passed the U.S. House of Representatives. Most southern states declined the document, and most northern states were eager to sign. On August 13, 1920, Tennessee voted 24-5 in favor of ratification. Finally, after years of picketing, striking, and hard work, the vote was secured. Before the 19th Amendment, women were denied basic rights such as working, voting, and politics. If they had worked, that money would legally belong to their husband, and when marriage occurred, all of the woman's belongings became the men's. Women were also restricted from activities men enjoyed, voting, politics, and financial aspects. Instead of these, women were expected to cook, clean, and raise children. At the end of the day, if there was not a clean house and a meal on the table when the husband returned, his wife would not have fulfilled her purpose. During World War II, women were extremely valuable in keeping the war efforts alive, constructing planes, laboring in other construction, driving trucks, and working in farms. Even though they faced challenges and betrayal, World War II was important and helped many realize that if women could help to keep their country safe during the war, they also deserved the right to vote. As soon as women could do things their male counterparts could, they took advantage and began to change their communities around them. They voted, made their own money, worked, and participated in classes at universities to learn about their specific field. In the early 1900s, women focused on teaching, nursing, social, and clerical work as their jobs. But after universities opened up their doors to them and courses were more inclusive, women more regularly became doctors, managers, and professors. The women who made this happen, the feminists, were also insulted and jailed, but eventually they established a legacy that will never be forgotten, ensuring women's equality and the fact that no one can be denied the right to vote. The first wave of feminism ignited the 19th Amendment's introduction, and when it passed in 1920, changed women's roles at home and in the workplace. The 19th Amendment was a milestone in the feminist movement, but there is still much ground to cover. Even though the progress we've made, many things still remind us of the unfairness between men and women. According to a report published by UN Women in September of 2022, it could take close to 300 years to achieve full gender equality. It has been at least a century after the prospect that women and men should be treated equally, and still sexism thrives and we work towards completely equal rights.